This is News 8 Now, this morning.
We're hoping to use some of the resources that came as a result of our surplus to set up essentially a fund of $100 million that could, just the interest on that would give us a way to invest in the arts.
Sometimes it's really big lessons that kids learn and take into their future, and sometimes it's the smaller ones, and it's nice just to see them have learned something, no matter what that something is.
It gives the community around the park some place to go, to congregate. A sense of community can be built by having that shelter there and having a meeting place.
Good morning, everyone. That was your morning eye-opener. I'm Sophia Pullman.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
It is Tuesday, May 9th. Flying through May. I'm really hoping the May showers go away soon.
Yeah, you know, I think we're going to be in the clear here for a little bit as far as the rain chances. They're not looking too high today.
I mean, it's starting to warm up.
It's starting to warm up, but...
And I'm liking that.
Yeah.
The rain can start to go away.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where we kind of have to pay for that, right? So warmer temperatures usually mean a sign of maybe some increased moisture could be on the way here too. After all, we are in spring season. That leads to some showers and thunderstorms, and we're going to be looking at that here as we get closer towards the end of this work week. But as of right now, we're not really tracking any rain or thunderstorms. However, something that we are tracking here for you is fog. Some areas this morning are waking up to some patchy areas of dense fog here this morning. No dense fog advisories necessarily in effect, but you can see areas like Viroqua at 0-mile visibility, Sparta's at 2, and you can see areas like Bosque Bell currently at 7, Decorah right now at 5-mile visibility. Current temperature readings are in the 50s, 54 in Eau Claire, 55 in Winona, 57 degrees in La Crosse, 47 in Viroqua, and Prairie du Chien is at 55 degrees. So here's a check on your planner here overall today. We're going to be looking at mostly cloudy skies here early this morning, and again some areas looking at some patchy fog out there as well. Temperatures in the 50s, warming up into the 60s though by late morning, and then we're in the 70s as we head towards those later afternoon hours with a mix of sun and clouds, and overall much warmer today. Here's a check on your allergy report, and for today we're expecting the ash to be on the low side. Everything else is on the high side, however, and the same forecast here is in store for the day tomorrow on Wednesday. Now stay tuned. I'm going to have a check on that full weather forecast. I'll talk about some more possible rain chances in the near future in just a few minutes. Sophia?
Thanks, Derek. Let's get to some news this morning. Nurses employed by Mayo Clinic Health System held a press conference to speak about their work conditions in Minnesota. Nurses say they feel undervalued and overworked, and state all nurses should be retrained. The nurses spoke in support of the Keeping Nurses at the Bedside Act, which is legislation that tackles staffing issues.
I feel undervalued. I many times don't feel respected with our opinions. I don't feel respected for our requests. When we mention that our nurses feel unsafe at times, I feel that it falls on deaf ears.
It would require hospitals to form committees to create core staffing plans. Those committees would oversee how many patients each nurse can safely care for. Governor Tony Evers kicked off National Travel and Tourism Week in La Crosse. Evers made a stop at the Pump House Regional Arts Center. The center got more than $288,000 from a tourism capital investment grant for improvements. The Pump House was able to renovate their bathrooms and update seating in the theater. The governor's budget includes investments to boost state tourism, especially when it comes to the arts.
We're hoping to use some of the resources that came as a result of our surplus to set up essentially a fund of $100 million that could, just the interest on that would give us a way to invest in the arts.
Evers said the state's tourism industry right now is far exceeding expectations. He says it's bringing in more income than surrounding states. Child care providers in 27 states across the country are making a day without child care and closing their doors to push lawmakers for funding. Sprout Child Care in La Crosse didn't close their doors, but the center's leaders did want people to think about what would happen if they and every other child care center in the country shut down.
It would send all these businesses into a grinding halt. We are the foundation that is there so everyone else can work. If we weren't working here, no one else would be able to be working.
State Senator Jill Billings also spoke at the event. She says pandemic-era funding from the state helped keep child care centers open and helped those businesses offer better pay and benefits to quality child care employees. Senator Billings says she's encouraging the Joint Finance Committee, which is working its way through Governor Evers' budget, to keep that funding. The city of La Crosse cut the ribbon on Wagent Park's brand new shelter. The city and the Wagent Hogan Neighborhood Association have worked for years to improve the park and its shelter space. Wagent Hogan Neighborhood Association President Linda Lee says this park has been a long time coming and it's exciting to see it all come together.
It gives the community around the park some place to go to congregate. A sense of community can be built by having that shelter there and having a meeting place.
The new shelter replaces a 40-year-old storage shed. The space will be used by the Parks Department, and people can also rent out the space for events. It holds 25 people and has a bathroom and a drinking fountain. A DeSoto teacher puts so much on her plate every day, you wonder how she gets it all done. But when the work involves getting hands-on with agriculture, she proves she's a natural. Ken Kozarowski introduces us to this month's top-notch teacher.
Hillary Bark loves to tackle as much as she can on the job.
I like the variety of it. I get to teach a lot of different classes, so I teach greenhouse, plant science, animal science.
The ag teacher runs her classroom, a greenhouse, advises the school's Future Farmers of America organization, coaches middle school basketball, and even drives a bus. And in her spare time, she's applying for and winning $6,000 grants to get new greenhouse equipment.
Is the list shorter of what you don't do here?
It might be, yeah.
All while raising 2 young kids on her family's farm. A lot to juggle.
But I do it because I like it and because I can see the impacts that it has on kids.
She loves that her hands-on subject grows real-life skills, whether it's running a greenhouse,
I learned those job skills like perseverance and problem solving,
or casing a good Sheboygan-style brat.
We're gonna twist them at the end. Oh, there we go, hello. Sometimes it's really big lessons that kids learn and take into their future, and sometimes it's the smaller ones, and it's nice just to see them have learned something, no matter what that something is.
Using nature to nurture the next generation. For News 8 Now, I'm Ken Kozarowski.
Bark was just one of roughly 100 Wisconsin teachers who won a $6,000 grant for her school from the Cole Education Foundation. That money will go to brand new greenhouse tables that are built to last for the next 30 to 40 years. Some state lawmakers are looking to cut advisory referenda from local ballots. Advisory referenda are used by counties to learn how its residents feel about certain issues. They are essentially polls put on the ballot by local boards that ask their residents what they think. Republican Assembly Speaker Robin Vos says it doesn't make sense for local governments to be asking voters about state-level issues.
The idea is that it makes no sense to use the ballot as a way to try to achieve some interest group's political goal. The city of Burlington lawmakers have zero to do with legislating abortion or marijuana. That's a state issue. I don't think it should be done at the local levels.
Local officials say these are still important to hold. Today, the American Lung Association is inviting everyone to wear turquoise to help end lung cancer. The annual Turquoise Takeover celebration unites America to stand together against lung cancer. Each year, the ALA turns the nation turquoise, a color symbolizing clean air. The ALA says that 2 easy ways to help prevent lung cancer are to test your home for Dayton and, if eligible, get screened for radon, and if eligible, get screened for lung cancer. Still ahead on your morning news, a bunk bed from Walker Edison Furniture Company has been recalled due to safety issues. And the combination of adding jobs and increasing paychecks may be helping decrease inflation. That and more coming up this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Cook's Cheese Company in Mineral Point is re-releasing a limited batch of a 20-year cheddar. It's considered the rarest of the rare because it takes a special cheese to make it 20 years aging. It's just the third time owner Tony Hook has released a 20-year cheddar. Because of the time and labor involved, it sells for $209 a pound. If you want one, you better place an order because they're going fast. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning after the break.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Visibility here is a little bit low in some spots. Areas such as Viroqua, you're currently at 0 mile visibility still. Meanwhile, if you're in Sparta, you're currently at 2 miles. La Crosse is at 9. Red Wing currently at 1 mile. So there are some patchy areas of some fog here across portions of the viewing area, and you might want to brace yourself for that, especially if you have any travel plans out there this morning. Other than that, the dog walking conditions are looking okay. Mostly cloudy this morning, partly cloudy really throughout the rest of the afternoon and also into the early evening. Current temperature readings are in the 50s. We got 55 in Winona, 57 degrees currently in La Crosse. Temperatures in Eau Claire currently at 54. Sparta right now is at a temperature of 50 degrees. A check now on your zone forecast does call for our high temperatures today to really ramp up. In fact, we're going to be well into the mid 70s this afternoon. 75 today in Berry Mills and Shelby, 74 in Soldiers Grove, 75 in Lafarge, 75 as well in Stoddard today. And as we head north, we're looking at highs in the mid 70s here as well, with 74 in Blair, 73 up in Alma Center, and low 70s here across the Chippewa Valley. So we'll get a check now on your schoolcast this morning. Overall 57 degrees with cloudy skies, and then as we head back home here this afternoon, temperatures at 71 under mostly cloudy skies. Stay tuned. I'll have a check with that full weather forecast here in just a few minutes.
In your consumer news this morning, Walker Edison Furniture Company is issuing a voluntary recall of more than 120,000 twin bunk beds due to fallen impact hazards. The company says the wooden slats that support the beds can break. The roughly 121,000 twin-over-twin bunk beds were sold online through Amazon, Walmart, Home Depot, and other retailers. Walker Edison said it got reports of 14 incidents of the slats breaking. There was one report of minor injuries. The beds were sold between February 2010 and February 2022. Some fast food chains are the latest businesses to jump on the AI bandwagon. According to a release by parent company CKE Restaurant Holdings, Carl's Jr. and Hardee's locations are launching artificial intelligence technology to take orders at drive-thrus. The company says it's in an effort to boost accuracy, speed, and revenue, as well as manage staffing shortages. The company is partnering with Presto Automation, OpenCity, and Valiant AI. Jenny Craig is going out of business. The weight loss chain of 40 years made the announcement on Facebook late Thursday. Jenny Craig's program provided nutritionally balanced menus designed to help people lose weight. Its website is no longer active. Customers are being told that all auto delivery subscriptions have been canceled, and all coaching sessions, food orders, and merchandise sales have ceased online and in corporate centers. New economic data points to wages finally beating inflation as employers both add jobs and increase paychecks. But which industries are actually paying more? Cole Higgins has a closer look.
Hiring and wages on the rise, at least for now. The latest jobs report painting a brighter picture of the U.S. labor market.
Americans are starting to finally catch up with respect to wages and prices.
The latest data from the Labor Department shows workers' paychecks grew in April by 16 cents to an average of $33.36 an hour. That's the biggest monthly increase since March 2022.
Increasing jobs, increasing pay, mean an improvement in the cost of living crisis that too many households have had to work through over the past 24 months.
Industries that are struggling to hire are handing out fatter paychecks. A recent survey from the National Federation of Independent Business found 53% of small businesses reported few or no qualified applicants for the positions they were trying to fill. According to that report, construction, transportation, and wholesale jobs are the hardest to fill right now. Meanwhile, employees in the leisure and hospitality sector, including bars, restaurants, and hotels, are also seeing strong wage gains.
When The U.S. lost 20 million jobs in March and April of 2020. Much of it was in the service sector. It was the hardest hit component of our economy.
Economists say many service workers had been reluctant to return to the industry as it works to bounce back from pandemic losses and faces recession fears.
Now, as we are on the other side of that hiring has really been strong. Leisure and hospitality has been the stalwart of the jobs recovery.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the unemployment rate in Wisconsin is 2.5. That's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Derek in today's forecast.
All right, thanks so much for that, Sophia. Visibility levels are a little bit low here this morning in some spots, and that's why we're looking at some patchy areas of fog. So not everybody's dealing with it. But you can see Viroqua currently at 0 miles. Meanwhile, in Sparta, not looking too much better right now at 2 miles. Eau Claire, you have improved since the last time we checked in on you. Right now, you're at 9 miles, and Winona currently at 7-mile visibility. No patchy areas of fog to worry about right now if you are in La Crosse, however, but it is looking a little bit cloudy. Temperatures at 57, a light east-southeast wind at around 3 miles an hour. Meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire, cloudy skies here, 54 degrees, east winds at around 3 miles an hour. And looking at the satellite and radar picture, things are looking pretty quiet. There are a few areas of showers and storms, however, across portions of northern Wisconsin. But other than that, conditions across the local region are looking nice and quiet, with current temperature readings now into the 50s, 50 degrees now in Sparta, and high temperatures this afternoon will rise into the 70s today with a high of 75 this afternoon in La Crosse. Highs will reach 73 today if you're in Eau Claire. Check now on your planner. Overall this morning, 58 degrees, mostly cloudy skies to start again. Watching out for some areas of some patchy fog, though. Partly cloudy, 66 degrees at noon, 74 and mostly sunny by 4 p.m. And then by early this evening, temperatures drop to 70 under mainly cloudy skies once again. So again, we'll keep our eyes on some of those patchy areas of fog and some cloud cover here as we head towards the 5 p.m. hour. A few clouds here across portions of the area. We'll keep our eyes on those showers and storms here back towards the west. However, watch what happens here, because the indications are it's going to weaken quite a bit before it gets here overnight tonight. So really no worries here if you have any evening plans or night plans in general. But as we head into tomorrow morning, we are expecting that conditions will cloud up here once again, followed by some passing afternoon and also into the early evening clouds as well. Look at those temperatures well into the mid-70s here yet again. So here's what we're going to be watching. We're going to be watching another low pressure system across the Central Plains, and that system is going to be taking shape here by the end of this week. You can see the associated warm front here with that low pressure system as we head into Friday afternoon, which could spawn some showers and thunderstorms across the upper Midwest, including us here in the Coulee region Friday through this weekend, and also into later on the day on Sunday as well. We'll keep our eyes on that, but I do think for the most part the better chances of showers and storms will be during the days of Friday and Saturday, as you can see some better rain and storm chances there before tapering significantly as we head into the day on Sunday. Overall highs mainly into the 70s there, and low temperatures into the 50s and low 60s. Stay with us. We're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. We are, however, taking a quick break with a look what happened on this day in history for May 9th. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Blitz. In less than a month, the best track and field athletes across the state will take over La Crosse for the state track meet. But for now, it's all about fine-tuning those details and hitting the last stretch of the season in full stride. That's exactly what was going on yesterday during the Blackhawk Invitational. Let's go to Viroqua High School, where 10 of our area schools were facing off. Start with the girls 4x800 relay. Brookwood had the top time coming into it, but it was Westby who got off to the fast start behind Audra Johnson. Then it was Elizabeth Curtis taking it down the stretch. Westby finished with a top time 10.52. For the boys race, it was West Salem coming down the final stretch. Panthers crossing the finish line with a time of 9 minutes 6 seconds. Switching to the girls 100-meter hurdles, Westby's Megan Nelson takes first with a time of 16.57. Viroqua freshman Alana Christensen comes in second. In the boys race, doing it on his home track, Viroqua sophomore Caden Sullivan takes first with a new PR, 16.44. Hillsboro's Russell Jackson setting a PR in second. 100-meter dash time, West Salem's Carter Walter is going to cross the finish line in first with a time of 11.43. Bangor's Brandon Gilbertson right behind him in second place. Girls race, Cashton's Braylee Hyatt is flying. She takes first place with a time of 12.91. Westby's Erin Gluck in second We didn't get it on video, but Gluck set a new PR in high jump, clearing 5.5. So the defending high jump state champ reaching new heights as she looks to defend that crown. MVC rivals clashing on the softball field. Logan playing host to rival Toma, and the Timberwolves picking up where they left off last week. First inning, Mackenzie Cohn chops one at third. That's a fair ball. It's 1-0 Toma. Then it's Libby Matheson lining a base hit into right field. That's going to score 2. Timberwolves put up a 3 spot in the first. And how about Anna Wall, the freshman dominant in the circle, strikes out the side in the first inning. And then in the top of the second, Wall showing she can do it all. This ball right here is absolutely crushed to left. I lost it. No idea where it went, but it's a solo shot for the freshman. Timberwolves go ahead by 4. They were just getting warmed up. Later in the second, Olivia Wall serves a base hit into center field. RBI single is going to make it 5-0 Toma. Then Kennedy Noth joins the fun. The senior serves one into center. 2 more runs are going to come in a score to make it 7-0. And how about Cohn? Another base hit right here for the junior. She's going to line this one into left field. Toma scores 5 runs in the second inning. Timberwolves keep on rolling. They get the win, 15-0. Let's take a look at some other scores from around the region. Big win on the road for the Onalaska softball team. Hilltoppers get the win over rival Aquinas, 11-7. On the baseball diamond, same teams going at it, same result. Hilltoppers getting the victory there as well. Shutout win for Onalaska, 6-0. And how about this? Cooley Conference rivals going at it in Galesville. The GET baseball team walks it off over rival West Salem as the Redhawks get the victory, 5-4. Brewers back at home, beginning a 3-game set with the Dodgers. Milwaukee struggled on the road, but different story last night at AmFam Field. Brewers break it open in the 5th. Joey Weimer, 3-run shot. It's 3-0 Milwaukee, and he was back at it again in the 7th. Weimer finds a hole on the left side. That's going to bring home another. Brewers go ahead 4-1. Then later in the inning, 2 in scoring position for Christian Yelich, and Yelly comes through with a base knock in the left field. 1 runs in. Here comes Weimer. Big time hit from Yelich makes it 6-1 Crew, and they were not done. Still in the 7th, 2 on for Willie Adames. Exit stage right. This ball absolutely crushed the other way, and that's not coming back. A 3-run blast from Adames breaks this one wide open. That's how you start a homestand. Brewers get the win, 9-3. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Thousands of protesters rally outside Serbia's legislature demanding change after 2 mass shootings in 1 week. Hundreds of demonstrators could be seen outside Serbia's House of the National Assembly, as well as streaming down nearby streets. Serbians are demanding answers after 2 mass shootings in less than 2 days left multiple people dead. Gun ownership is high in Serbia, but the sort of mass shootings seen on a daily basis in the United States are extremely rare. An Australian woman survived 5 days in the wild on a bottle of wine and some lollipops. A rescue helicopter spotted the woman last Thursday and directed police to her. She says while on vacation, she made a wrong turn and ended up at a dead end. Then, while trying to turn around, her car got stuck in the mud. She only had a few snacks with her and a bottle of wine she had bought for her mother. She was treated at a local hospital for dehydration. Customs and Border Protection agents, U.S. military personnel, social service agencies, and volunteer groups are bracing for an influx of migrants this week. Pandemic-era restrictions, which made it easier to send them back into Mexico, expire on Thursday. The number of people seeking asylum in the U.S. could top 150,000, according to a source familiar with federal estimates. She's beyond her years. Most college seniors graduate in their 20s, but as Dominique O'Neill explains, Madison Ackley is breaking barriers as she prepares to graduate at UW-Stevens Point at the age of 18.
I also took 18 to 21 credits per semester up until this point to get here.
You could say 18-year-old Madison Ackley has always been ahead of her time.
When I was in high school, I took many college courses, and I had my mother help me map out the courses I needed to take to fulfill all the requirements I needed.
Ackley will be the youngest Native American and woman to ever graduate from UW-Stevens Point.
It's exciting. It's exciting to be able to be part of the campus's history.
At an age where most people are just attending their senior prom, she's applying for her first full-time job out of school.
So I love numbers, and I always have. I've always been math, detail-oriented, and my aunt is an accountant, and I really look up to her, so I wanted to be like her.
Somehow, between all of her studying, she has found time to work a job, be involved with the Native American Center. She also runs her own business as a microblading artist. And Ackley says she didn't plan to complete her degree in just 2 years, but the inspiration became a reality about a year ago when she saw other seniors talking about graduation. That's when she decided to set some goals.
During my time at Stevens Point, I've been involved in Chi Alpha, which is a Christian organization on campus, and I've also participated in Toastmasters, which is a professional speaking club.
And Ackley will walk the stage on May 20th, so I asked her, what will it be like knowing she's making history?
It's pretty cool. It's very exciting. I've been looking forward to it for a while now, and I'm excited that graduation is so close.
As for what's next for Ackley, after graduation, she'll begin a job at an accounting firm in Rylander, but her education doesn't stop there. She plans to get her master's in accounting. Just at 12 weeks old, Daisy, an Australian Labradoodle, is one of the newest members of the Two Rivers Police Department. Daisy came to the Two Rivers Police Department from Blueberry Cottage Labradoodles in western Wisconsin and was donated to the Wisconsin Law Enforcement Death Response, or LEADER team. Daisy's main handler says that while she was donated to LEADER, Daisy helps out the entire department.
Although she was donated to the LEADER team, she's a joint dog. So we share expenses and responsibilities with her.
Her team responds to law enforcement agencies that suffer line of duty deaths and offers support. Daisy recently made a trip to Cameron and Chetek, two communities in western Wisconsin that lost officers last month. A Wisconsin judge said he wants the State Elections Commission to reconsider a complaint against fake Republican electors during the 2020 elections. The original complaint says that electors attempted to cast the state's electoral ballots for former President Donald Trump. Dane County Circuit Judge Frank Remington said that the commission must consider the complaint without Commissioner Robert Spindle, who was one of the fake electors. Spindle and the commission agreed. Judge Remington will write an order next week for the commission to reconsider the complaint. Aiming to help rebuild confidence in elections, election officials in the state are hoping to bring back a plan to maintain high voter turnouts. Officials aim to create a division to deal with voter concerns and requests. The proposal was rejected last Tuesday by the legislature's Republican-controlled Budget Writing Committee. Republican chair of the bipartisan Wisconsin elections, Don Millis, was the one who proposed the idea. Although it failed, Millis is hoping to revive the plan as a bill. The Minnesota Senate may soon pass a bill that would give workers across the state paid family leave when they're caring for sick relatives. Senate Democrats have just a one-seat majority, but paid family and medical leave has been a priority for the part of these years. Preliminary votes today showed all Democrats are on board. Governor Tim Walz is expected to sign the final version. The plan would take effect in 2025. A high school coach in Janesville is under arrest after being accused of installing a recording device in a girl's locker room. One parent shares her concerns.
So my daughter is a student at Craig. So she's 15, obviously uses the locker room for gym class.
This is just one of several Craig High School parents worried their child could have been recorded in a locker room.
Not knowing if it was isolated to a certain few students or if my daughter could have possibly been in any of these videos changing in the locker room. It's just a privacy thing. It's very uncomfortable.
Police and school officials in Janesville said a GoPro camera was turned into them on Friday morning. The video led police to 38-year-old Brian Kitzman, the current assistant track coach and previous swim coach, who confessed.
He admitted he placed this GoPro, told us it's been going on for 2 years, and that by his estimation, 18 other persons were victims.
The district superintendent says the coach was employed since 2004. School officials say they did a background check and that the district didn't know about any of his actions prior to discovering the recording device.
We do know that there's lots of emotions that all of us are feeling at this time, anger, frustration, And we are working hard to make sure that we are providing supports for all of us who are feeling those.
The district and the department said they notified a student victim and their family of the incident.
And it's just a big violation of comfort and privacy.
Now this parent's fears depend on the results of an ongoing police investigation.
It's just an uncomfortable feeling that my child could be involved in this, or my child's friends could be involved in this.
Kitzman is currently being held at the Rock County Jail with charges of child pornography and other crimes. Here's Derek to give us an update on our driving conditions. What's it looking like, Derek?
Well, it's looking a little bit on the foggy side here this morning, Sophia. As you can see behind me, there are some patches of fog here across portions of the Cooley region. Areas like Viroqua, you're currently looking at 0-mile visibility, so use your low beam headlights there. Eau Claire, you have improved a lot here since the last time we saw you. Sparta currently at 5 miles. Rochester towards the west, just outside of the viewing area, currently at 2 miles. So not everybody's dealing with the thick patches of fog, just some spots. In the meantime, current temperatures are in the 50s, and for today we are expecting highs to reach around 75 under mostly cloudy skies, and overall a pretty mild day to say the least. Winds to the south-southeast around 5 to 10 miles an hour. For tonight, temperatures at 56, partly cloudy skies, still pretty mild out there. Light south-southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Driving conditions, again, watch out for some patchy areas of some dense fog, but other than that, we are looking okay here in many spots, including La Crosse. Partly cloudy skies around the lunch hour, and as we head towards this evening, we will be only looking at a few passing clouds here as well. Stay tuned for a final check coming up after the break for another check on your full weather forecast, but also coming up in our Buzz Report, Eurovision takes the stage in the birthplace of the Beatles. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, everyone. A few areas this morning are dealing with some patchy areas of some dense fog, especially if you're in Viroqua here this morning. You're currently looking at 0-mile visibility. Meanwhile, just to the north in Sparta, right now at 5-mile visibility. Check out Ladysmith, though, up there in Rusk County. You're currently at 2-mile visibility. The rest of us are looking okay visibility-wise, but again, you may run to some brief areas of some patchy fog. No dense fog advisories currently in effect here, however. La Crosse, you're currently looking okay. 10-mile visibilities, 57 degrees. Looking at mainly cloudy skies, though, as you can see from CityCam 8 there in the background. Wind speeds are looking nice and calm. Meanwhile, for you in Eau Claire, 54 degrees, cloudy skies here. Visibility has improved a lot here since the last time we got a check on you. Right now at 9 miles. Southeast winds very light here as well at around 8 miles an hour. So right now things are looking pretty quiet weather-wise, again, with the exception of some of that fog that we're currently tracking. Also watching a few showers and a couple of storms here across portions of northern Wisconsin. But other than that, really across much of the region here, things are looking good across the upper Midwest. Current temperature readings now into the 50s. We're seeing 47, however, in Viroqua, where we're seeing some of that patchy area of fog there. 51 in Sparta, 53 Black River Falls, 52 in Volkfield. A little bit warmer down towards Prairie du Chien. You're currently looking at 54 degrees. With forecast highs today expected to be well into the mid-70s this afternoon. In fact, 75 today in La Crosse and a high of 73 this afternoon in Eau Claire. So getting a check now on your planner. Starting off mostly cloudy this morning, followed by really just a mix of sun and clouds here as we head into the afternoon hours. The temperatures at 74 by 4 p.m. and then by 8 o'clock, 70 degrees under mainly cloudy skies. So we'll keep an eye here on some of the fog and also some of the clouds here across the area this morning. But as you can see, by 10 o'clock, still looking cloudy. By this point, I think a lot of the fog here will come to an end here too. 5 o'clock, we are going to be looking at some partly cloudy conditions kind of moving through. We'll keep our eyes on some of those showers and storms here back towards the west. However, watch what happens though. It starts to weaken as it moves east by the time we reach around 10 p.m. tonight. And as we forward here into overnight, we expect it to really not really affect us here in the Cooley region. In fact, it's going to be much drier here as we head into overnight tonight with just a couple of passing clouds. And then cloudy skies once again. Looks like it will redevelop across the Cooley region as we head into tomorrow morning, followed by some passing clouds once again as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Look at the temperatures though, rising into the 70s. So here's what's coming next. We're going to be watching this next low pressure system developing across the Central Plains, and you can see an associated warm front boundary is going to set up here across the upper Midwest by Friday afternoon. And this will last us into this weekend and also into Sunday to give us a chance of showers and thunderstorms, which is why you'll see here on the 8-day forecast that good chances of showers and storms are in play here for Friday through Saturday before tapering here on Sunday. Highs mainly in the 70s and lows in the 50s and low 60s.
In our Morning Buzz report, actress Christina Applegate says she won't likely return to on-camera work after being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. She told Vanity Fair her time on the hit Netflix series Dead to Me is probably her last stint in front of the camera. Applegate was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2021. The disease affects the central nervous system and muscle control.
Are we saying there's a chance that when we push that button, we destroy the world? Chances are near zero. Near zero. What do you want from theory alone? Zero would be nice.
Filmmaker Christopher Nolan has released a new 3-minute trailer for his upcoming thriller Oppenheimer. The film and its all-star cast tell the story of J. Robert Oppenheimer, who led the 1940s program that developed the atomic bomb.
Action! Cut! Latte pronto!
Excuse me, Mr. Pronto. Can I call you Latte?
Semi-finals for the Eurovision Song Contest begin tonight in Liverpool, England, the birthplace of the Beatles. The city is hosting on behalf of Ukraine, which won the contest last year. Over the weekend, competitors walked the turquoise carpet for the welcome ceremony. The final competition is Saturday. I have never heard of that before.
I haven't either.
I'm going to have to look into that. Never heard it before. Really excited about, I didn't catch what streaming service it's going to be on, but the Atomic Bomb movie. That'll be really good.
Yeah, that sounds interesting too.
Did they say Netflix?
I can't remember, but I always love the science stuff. You know, it's pretty fascinating to me. So.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
Happy 80th birthday to Harley. Now, Harley enjoys relaxing outside and, of course, on sunny days while listening to his favorite oldies music. So happy birthday.
Happy 88th birthday to Lee. Lee is a die-hard Packers fan who enjoys fishing and spending time with his grandchildren.
Well, if you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them here.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website. Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next.
Download the News 8000 app today.
The city of La Crosse cut the ribbon on Wagent's Park's brand new shelter. The city and the Wagent-Hogan Neighborhood Association have worked for years to improve the park and its shelter space. Wagent's-Hogan Neighborhood Association President Linda Lee says this park has been a long time coming and it's exciting to see it all come together.
It gives the community around the park some place to go to congregate. A sense of community can be built by having that shelter there and having a meeting place.
The new shelter replaces a 40-year-old storage shed. The space will be used by the Parks Department, and people can also rent out space for events. It holds 25 people and has bathrooms and a drinking fountain. Child care providers in 27 states across the country are making a day without child care and closing their doors to push lawmakers for funding. Sprout Child Care in La Crosse didn't close their doors, but the center's leaders did want people to think about what would happen if they and every other child care center in the country shut down.
It would send all these businesses into a grinding halt. We are the foundation that is there so everyone else can work. If we weren't working here, no one else would be able to be working.
State Senator Jill Billings also spoke at the event. She says pandemic-era funding from the state helped keep child care centers open and helped those businesses offer better pay and benefits to quality child care employees. Senator Billings says she's encouraging the Joint Finance Committee, which is working its way through Governor Evers' budget, to keep that funding. Walker Edison Furniture Company is issuing a voluntary recall of more than 120,000 twin bunk beds due to fall and impact hazards. The company says the wooden slats that support the beds can break. The roughly 121,000 twin-over-twin bunk beds were sold online through Amazon, Walmart, Home Depot, and other retailers. Walker Edison said it got reports of 14 incidents of the slats breaking. There was one report of a minor injury. The beds were sold between February 2010 and February 2022. Governor Tony Evers kicked off National Travel and Tourism Week in La Crosse. Evers made a stop at the Pump House Regional Arts Center. The center got more than $288,000 from a tourism capital investment grant for improvements. The Pump House was able to renovate their bathrooms and update seating in the theater. The governor's budget includes investments to boost state tourism, especially when it comes to the arts.
We're hoping to use some of the resources that came as a result of our surplus to set up essentially a fund of $100 million that could, just the interest on that would give us a way to invest in the arts.
Evers said the state's tourism industry right now is far exceeding expectations. He says it's bringing in more income than surrounding states. Nurses employed by Mayo Clinic Health System held a press conference to speak about their work conditions in Minnesota. Nurses say they feel undervalued and overworked. In state, all nurses should be retrained. The nurses spoke in support of the Keeping Nurses at the Bedside Act, which is legislation that tackles staffing issues. Today, the American Lung Association is inviting everyone to wear turquoise to help end lung cancer. The annual Turquoise Takeover celebration unites America to stand together against lung cancer. Each year, the ALA turns the nation turquoise, a color symbolizing clean air. The ALA says that 2 easy ways to help prevent lung cancer are to test your home for radon and, if eligible, get screened for lung cancer.
And as you head out the door this morning, temperatures are in the 50s under mainly cloudy skies. Some areas waking up to some patchy areas of fog. Other than that, we are looking at a mix of sun and clouds as we head into the afternoon hours, with temperatures warming up into the mid-70s here today. Heading into the day tomorrow, pretty similar, 79 degrees, mostly cloudy and mild. Chances of thunderstorms begin to pick up Thursday, but more so Friday and especially on Saturday, with highs mainly in the 70s and lows in the 50s, low 60s.
I'm liking that I don't have to bundle up as much.
Oh, I know. No, not anymore. We're well into spring now, so you don't have to worry about that too.
Thanks, Derek. And thank you for watching News 8 Now. Don't forget to keep up with the news of the day on news8000.com. We'll have the latest updates to today's top stories on News 8 Now at noon. Have a great day, everyone, and thank you for watching News 8.